In the previous video, I showed you how to do some beginner formulas and functions. What I want you to do is we're going to end up separating the sheet a little bit so that way you have some extra room to do other formulas and functions. What we're going to do here is we're going to merge and center E1 through I1, and then we're going to type beginner formulas and functions. Then in B1, I want you to type in 4. I want you to type in your period number, which if it's period 4, it's 4. If it's period 5, it's 5. So period 4, center it. Now I want you to select A1 through I1 and change the cell style to heading 1. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play around with some other functions, ones that you need to put a little bit more thinking into. These ones are pretty easy because you can just do a function, an argument, it's a result. Pretty easy. The other ones you have to look at what you're being asked or what you want to try to figure out and put a little bit more thought into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to select E18 through I18, merge and center, and we're going to do intermediate formulas and functions. This is kind of like a medium difficulty. Okay. Now I want you to go ahead and heading 1 that. All right. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to be using the if function. The if function is a logical function. You're given some data and the function analyzes it, and you give that function a logical test, whether it be greater than or less than something, and if it's true to that equation, it will come up with it being true or value of true or false. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and type in if for I20. Okay, so we're going to establish some rules here. So if x is less than 60%, okay, we're going to say that this person fails. Fail. If x is greater than 60%, okay, we're going to do pass. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to do greater than or equal to 60%, and they're going to pass. Okay, so we're going to take the if function, and we're going to establish this with some students. So we've got John, Susie, Ralph, Jordan, and Ciara. Okay, so John has a 75% in my class. Okay, actually I'm going to leave off the percentages, except now I messed myself up. Okay, we're just going to do 75. Okay, Susie got a 54%. Ralph got a 96. Jordan got an 85. And Ciara got a, we're going to say a 13. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to create an if function in these cells to see if they pass my class. So we're going to go to formulas, logical, if. Okay, so here's a logical test. So I wrote this down for just my personal reference. You're not going to put these into here. Instead, you're just going to do this. So if B23 is greater than or equal to 60, it'll say, oh, okay, it's true. We're going to put in pass, fail. So if it's true, it'll return as pass. If it's false, it'll go to fail. So we're going to go ahead and fill that formula down, and you'll see that 2 people failed my class. Okay. Now we're going to put in another one here. We're going to put in Sarah. Sarah has 100%. Okay, so now she has pass. Okay, because it analyzed this function. Now, if I wanted to handwrite this, okay, because you might have to do this in the certification, we're going to go up here to the formula bar. We're going to start with equal. All functions and formulas start with equal because that equal sign tells Excel that we're going to go ahead and start that function. Okay, if, and now this sometimes likes to help you, so you don't have to use a dialog box. Logical test. So you have to look to see what's my logical test. Okay, my logical test is if B28, which is 100, okay, if it is greater than or equal to 60, okay, comma, and it says, okay, what do I want my value of true? Well, I can put in pass. Now keep in mind that it's going to show up as an error, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Fail. And always end your parentheses. Now, you'll see, oh my gosh, why does it have name there? Well, the problem is Excel doesn't know what pass means or fail means. Okay, it's like, what's that? What kind of formula is that? What I forgot to do is I forgot to use quotation marks. What that indicates is that in that value, it's words. Okay, so not to analyze those as numbers or functions. So when I press that, it will go ahead and accept it. That is the if function. So go ahead and select, actually we'll select A20, and we'll do that to heading 3. And then we'll select B20 through C21. And let's shade it. Let's shade it to 20% accent 2. Okay, so that's the if function. So that is a logical test. Now there's different if functions you can use. There's the average if and there's the sum if. And I'm going to show you how to do those here in a second. The next one I want you to know is the payment function. Now this function is important when you are 16, 17, 18, when you want to go out and buy a car. Chances are with that car you're not going to, unless your parents buy it for you or you already have the money saved up, chances are you're going to have to take out a loan. Okay, and the payment function allows you to calculate how long or how much that loan payment is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in some values here. So we're going to do PMT. Okay, so my car is $25,530 after taxes. Okay, and I'm going to pay on this for 5 years. Okay, now the way payments work is how many times you're going to issue a payment. So if I put down 5 here, that says I'm making 5 yearly payments. So I want to have a number of periods. So 5 times 12 is 60. So I'm going to have 60 periods, so 60 payments. Okay, my interest rate is going to be 6%. Okay, and I want a present value. The present value is 25,530. My future value is 0. Okay, so we're going to take this information and we're going to generate a payment. Okay, so we're going to, in E23 we're going to type in monthly payment, and we'll just go ahead and merge these cells. Now in this cell we're going to use this information. So again, you can handwrite it or you can use the formulas. So formulas, we're going to find financial. You can see all these little financial functions. Payment. Okay, so there's five different indicators here, 5 different arguments. So the rate is the first thing we're going to do. That's our interest rate. That's how much the bank is going to make off letting us use their loan. Okay. Usually it's anywhere between 0% if you are, good established credit, to about 6.57%. It just depends on that. It could go as high as 8 or 9, depending on your credit. So we're just going to say an average, especially for starters, 6%. Okay. The number of payments for a loan, we've established that as 60. So instead of writing these out, I'm going to show some examples here. I'm going to go ahead and click on G21. Number of periods, 60. Present value is 25,530. Okay, and our future value is 0. Okay. Ooh, I'm sorry. I messed up. I was looking at this and I was like, wait a second, that's not right. $1,579. What this rate is, it's the APR, meaning I'm sorry, it's the interest rate on a monthly payment. You don't pay 6% on every one of your payments. You pay something called APR, annual percentage rate. So over an entire year of making payments, you're paying 6% off of that. So if you're making monthly payments, you want to make sure you divide it by 12, okay? Meaning on every monthly payment, it's 0.005% interest, okay? That looks a lot better. Now, it'll come to being a negative number, okay? This is personal preference. Now, I like to have negative, so we'll press OK, and it'll show red here, okay? When it's shown red and in parentheses, that's an accounting format, meaning it's negative. Now, if I want it to be positive, what I will do is I will go ahead and find my present value, and I'll make it negative. Okay, because a negative and a negative make it a positive. So my monthly payment on that car, that was $25,000, over $25,000 over 5 years. After paying $493.57, I will pay it off after 5 years. So that's a pretty average monthly payment for that. If I wanted to change it to 6 years, okay, I could type in six years and then do 72. So just watch now, you don't have to change this. So 72 will change the payment, okay? It's gonna be a little bit cheaper, but ultimately you pay more interest because you still are paying, you're still paying interest because you're paying longer. Okay, so we're gonna show you a different one because this is, like I said, this is one of the most important functions, and you're gonna do a project on this a little bit later. So let's look at a truck that's going to be about $45,645, and we're going to pay 7-year payment. So 7 times 12 will be 84, if I'm correct. Right, 7 times 12 is 84. Let's double check. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, so 84, and that's going to be payments. Okay, we're a little bit more established, so we're going to have a 2% interest rate, and we want and the present value is 45,645, and you want the future value to be 0. Okay. So go ahead and merge and center the E27 to F27. So monthly payment. Oops, my bad. It's E28 through 928. These ones, I'm sorry. Monthly payment. I'd like to have a little space between my stuff. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this by hand. So equal PMT, because that tells Excel we're starting a payment function. The rate is 0.02, but remember we have to change it because it's an APR rate, meaning that It's 2% over the entire year, not 2% every month. If it was 2% every month, that's about 24% throughout the year. That's a huge interest rate on a car. That's like a credit card interest rate. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do G26 divided by 12, comma, that changes our category here. Number of periods, 84, comma, our present value is 45,645, and our future value is 0. Okay, so our car payment is gonna be $582.77, okay, over every month for 7 years. Now, if I wanted to change it, obviously, to 5 years and make it 60 payments, that's going to go up. Okay, and again, if you prefer it to be positive, you got to change the present value to negative. There we go. Okay, so sum if and average if. So we're going to go back over here to the logical tests. So sum if, okay, takes the sum of values if they have a specific, based off of specific criteria. Okay, this will be on your certification exam because I saw it on there. Sum if, okay, so it adds the cells specified by a given condition or criteria. Okay, so if I wanted to do that with this, we're just going to keep the same example. Okay, the range is going to be B23 through B28. Okay, they need to be greater than or equal to 60. Okay, and our sum range will be the actual cells to use. Same thing here. Oops, I'm sorry, that's not right. Okay, and what that means is each one of these that have pass will be added. Okay, so all of the cells, if you look at B23 through B28, all the cells that were at pass here were summed and not these. Okay, if I want to check my work, I go equal this plus this plus this plus this, and it would be 356. Okay, so it only sums based off a specific criteria. So these were not added into my sum. Same thing with average if. Okay, so average if, okay, I'm only going to take the average of the passing grades. Okay, so this is the range. The criteria is greater than I had a brain fart there, greater than or equal to 60. Okay, and it's going to show that it's going to be an 89 average. So what that means is all of the passing grades, I have an 89 average, and I could show that by doing average, comma, comma, and it would kind of do the same thing. Okay, so go ahead, if you double checked, go ahead and hit the delete key for these, okay, because we don't need them. All right, let me double check that everything I want to go over. Yes, it is. Okay, so these, like I said, these are different formulas and functions that you're going to encounter. Another one we're going to be doing is Vlookup, but that one's going to be on Gmetrics, and you're just going to use that. What Vlookup does is it has a table for towards values. What that basically does is you can look to see, say for example, someone earns so much in commission. You can see whether or not how much they earn in commission and if they receive a bonus or not. When you go into Gmetrics, one of those cores, you're gonna play around with that, and I think that one's the better one. Where if you do it yourself, you'll understand it a little bit better than just me watching me showing you how to do it. Oh, I forgot one thing. Make sure the PMT function you change to heading 3. Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and save this, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 things for me. You're going to go to File, Print, okay? And what I want you to do is change the scaling to fit on one sheet, okay? And then you're going to print that to OneNote, okay? You're going to do one like this, and then you're going to do one more. What I want you to do is I want to be able to see the formulas that you actually did the formulas. I didn't have you do it last time because all we did was the sum. But since we're doing so many different formulas, I want to make sure you're actually doing the formulas. It's one thing to copy and see that, but I want to see you do the formulas. So what I want you to do is go to Formulas, Show Formulas. Okay, and it literally shows that the formulas have been done. Okay, what I want you to do is go to File, Print. For this one, change to Landscape. And then we are going to, again, fit sheet on one page. Okay, and then you are going to print this below the one you just did. Okay, all right, and then you should be good. Tomorrow I will have you guys watch videos on Module 2, step-by-steps, and we'll be working with some of these functions. If you have any questions, please let me know.